Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We are here to react to the Godzilla vs. Kong trailer, official trailer finally dropping. We've been waiting for this for months, and I didn't think we'd actually get it so soon because of the pandemic and all. And who's to say whether this will be? I'm not sure what the official release date will be for this film, given the promises that Warner Brothers has made to do simultaneous release on streaming as well as theatrical release as well. So this is gonna be tricky. This is one of those movies that I don't say it often because usually I don't care whether it's in a theater or streaming it at home. But from watching the last film, and even the first to some extent as well, this is one of those films that needs to be experienced in IMAX, in on a huge ass screen, which I have a pretty decent sized monitor that I have at home, but and the TV is not that big either. So for me, this is one of those things that I will fall into the camp of, this is something that you should really experience in a theater, and with an audience and the ambience, and enjoying with everyone. It's not just sitting at home and watching it, but we'll see how this works out. If the pandemic doesn't give us a choice, then I'm not gonna miss it. I'll definitely stream it. But if given the choice, I'll definitely want to see this one in theaters. Of course, there's I don't know. There's been a bit of pushback since the last movie and the first one as well, where people are complaining about the movie focusing a bit too much on the humans and not enough on the monsters. The first one, I can agree that maybe you know maybe it deserves some of that criticism. I enjoyed it, to be honest, because I felt as though the director wanted us to be in the front seat to experience a monster in our world for the first time, and so it felt, in terms of pacing, it felt that way, you know. But of course, we're in the world of social media now, and everyone thinks that everything needs to happen immediately, and that's just it. It needs to happen now. It needs to see Godzilla immediately, and then he needs to start destroying, and everything needs to happen quickly. But that's not the case. So I enjoyed the first movie quite a bit. The second movie, yeah, it focused on the family, and I get that. But here's my take on the whole family thing, and I'm one that's usually, I feel a film should be sold on the writing and the concept, and not so much on the celebrities. So I didn't love when they added all these celebrities, and I know that's why they added Millie Bobby Brown to get the younger audience on board with it, and I'm usually against all of that. But I think for to get us to care about the world that we're actually in, because from my perspective, if the world has been destroyed by monsters and I do not care about what the impact is, I don't care about anyone in this world, then I've already not, I don't care about half of the film, because I mean, what's at stake here? What exactly is at stake? The monster fights are cool and all, but then that gets old after 5 minutes. So you've seen one monster fight, then okay, what are we fighting for? So that, I believe, is important, and I think that is why there is some focus on the family, because we need to know, we need to feel for them to say, okay, yeah, this it's not a perfect family, but these are the things that are at stake here. If this fight goes down, if Godzilla loses, this is what's at risk, and I think that is necessary. So the film does need to feel as though it's the world is lived in. There's something at stake, something that we can all relate to on some level. But it's not just the family. There are several other characters that were highlighted throughout, especially in the first film with Bryan Cranston and his son. So it's, I think it's necessary to hold the entire film together, to keep the audience's attention as well. So that's my take on the whole thing. I think in the second film it found its balance, and there was a very a very good balance of human and the monsters fighting as well. So I'm definitely looking forward to this one. I saw Kong Skull Island as well, and of all the films in the franchise, the second Godzilla film was probably my favorite of all. And I know Kong will have to have grown significantly to actually be a matchup. I don't know why these two would be fighting in the first place. I can only assume that, given at the end of the second film, that that group that was fighting against Godzilla, they got maybe they got their hands on Kong somehow to manipulate him. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. Let's jump right in, guys, and check it out.
This is our only chance. We have to take it.
They captured Kong?
We need Kong. The world needs him.
Oh.
Stop this
Skarsgård.
coming. And this child. She's the only one he'll communicate with.
I knew that they had a bond. She had nowhere to go, so I made a promise to protect her. And I think that in some way, Kong did the same.
Beautiful. Why is Godzilla on the rampage? Damn. They made Godzilla the bad guy.
It's Godzilla.
Why Godzilla? Why?
These are dangerous times.
Godzilla in Tokyo.
We don't know why.
There's something provoking him that we're not seeing here.
I'm of the same opinion.
Something's up with Godzilla.
There was a war. And they're the last ones standing.
I keep reaching for greatness because I'm built from it.
Who bows to who?
Nobody gonna stop for me. Here we go.
Kong bows to no one.
All right. That was something. Somehow they've shifted the tone from the second film to this one, and I kind of missed the tone of the second film a bit more. It was a bit more serene and so I'm conflicted. I'm a bit conflicted. I'm hoping that isn't a reflection of the direction that they're going in. That it's okay. It's all action and fast, and that's good. But and who knows? Maybe I'm completely wrong here, because if they feel the need to change that from film to film, then the first film was very different from the second different from the third. Then I can work with that. Depending, the writing needs to be damn good for that to actually work. So it all depends on the direction that they actually want to take the film. But it's tonally significantly different from the second film, especially if just looking at the trailer for the second film and looking at this one. Very different, and a lot of the characters have changed. We're not following the two scientists that we had in the second film, but again that was a change from the first to the second film as well. But they kept Millie Bobby Brown. Again, I'm not into the whole celebrity selling the film thing, so hopefully the writing is actually really strong with this one. And of course there is the conflict between Godzilla and Kong, and they said in the trailer here that it's perhaps it's happened before. There's some sort of prophecy, but what could be spurring Godzilla on to be acting in the way that he does? I mentioned at the very beginning that that group that was behind King Ghidorah in the second film, they had one of his heads or a piece of his head at the end of the second film. So is there some possibility that and we know Ghidorah has regenerative powers, so I mean, could it be that maybe they somehow fed Ghidorah to Godzilla and that's affecting him somehow, and that's that's why he ends up having to fight Kong here? Or did they just leave that in there for maybe another film? But there definitely has to be a reason why Godzilla is just on the rampage now. But I'm not sure. I'm just assuming that there was a scene here in the trailer that I'm assuming it's from Tokyo, because that would be brilliant, seeing Godzilla finally back in Japan, so that brought back some memories to the old Godzilla film. So I hope they do it and do it well. But that was just brilliant and amazing. So definitely enjoyed that trailer. I'm looking forward to this film. As I've said, I don't know whether this will be a theatrical release only. From what Warner Bros. Has said, it may be simultaneous release. If it is, I would want to, if possible, if the pandemic allows, to see it in theaters. If not, then I'll watch it at home. But it's definitely not something I want to miss. So, Godzilla vs. Kong. Be sure to post down below, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are on this trailer. Be sure to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the next one.